All right, so here we are. Here we are going into a second part with Jake Jacobs. Jake and I worked together on the Turbo Pit Fighter comic. Link in the link below for the channel. We do side by side. We're the only two comic book artists that we know of that are working on the same comic in split screen. And I've asked Jake to come over and give me some art direction. So we're on page 3 of my original pencils from back in 2015.
CROM Revisited.
And I have gone ahead. Yep, CROM Revisited to make a new splashy updated CROM collected with some bonus material as well. But Jake, let's pick up from the last update. And once again, I want to thank you for joining me. And we're going to roll through pages 3 through 7. So I'll let you continue where you left off last week.
Right. Yeah. Well, I think we were pretty much done with page 3, and some of the stuff I'm saying, just applies generally throughout the comic. When you're deharshifying, right? Let's say, like, I really like how this lighting, has variance between light and dark, but those smooth transitions, just make the eye kind of glide instead of, having these, lights and darks butt up against each other. Can
you push your pages up, Jake? Can you push your pages up?
Definitely.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Nope. Thank you.
You are tied to this font and the size. I take it.
Yeah. Everything is printed. I pre-printed it. I actually changed. You'll notice I changed the font, so it was a Times Roman, and I wanted that old pulpy feel. Typewriter readability, like even as you referred to in the last episode update, was it the EC Comics, and they were doing that typesetting from there. So yeah, I mean, wonky, I'm still good with, but if you come up with a suggestion that I can make repair here.
Well, you're definitely like bringing in this kind of throwback feel. Oh, you know what? As I look at this mountain right here, you could actually make a dark side and a light side. I'm just noticing. Yeah, so you're bringing back a font. This is a typewriter font, and this is circa the 50s, 40s, and 50s.
Yeah.
Manuscript font. And so you're bringing that in. So that's okay. I mean, my only question was if this is in Photoshop. Sometimes I like taking these text blocks, and I like kind of like pinching them and foreshortening them, or sometimes tilting them and playing around like that. But it depends what stage you're at, because I don't want to ask you to have to go back steps. I just want to give you things that you can do going forward.
Thank you.
Here, this is fun. This is real pulpy. It printed out for me.
You're ahead. That's Jake. That's page 5.
Oh, so I have to do this first.
There's one.
Is this comfort?
No, and then one more. Go one more.
One more back.
Yeah, you need one more ahead of that.
This one?
No. You see here? Yeah, there you go. Okay. That's it.
Sorry.
That's page 3.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah, I mean, so these are some tough things to draw here. These mammoths and stuff like that. Coming in here, just definitely deharshify. Here I would, you're crowding your type here, and I like the dark background against the white, but I think you need to extend the dark so that there's a little bit of a framing to it, and then
it's a little tight.
I would also maybe take the opportunity to bring these darks down, and you could even like make them, if you wanted to make this look like kind of like a cloudy sky or an overcast sky or something. You could even do like the subliminal thing where you're pointing to your action. You're framing your action that way.
Right.
So so it would do two things. It would make it more readable, and it would also kind of integrate it a little bit better. I don't have too much to say about this. Maybe you want to put some more darks in here. Here, maybe you want to do like some excitement lines. You maybe even some drool. Just to kind of like project that energy. but he looks like he's starting to shred the mammoth here, right, with his claws.
Yeah, that's coming in, but it's tough because right above that block of text, the tusk is actually going into the saber tooth tiger, so he's getting
Oh,
gouged.
well,
But it was unfortunate that the
why don't you bring the
yeah.
top of it out like that? Even if you're exaggerating it, it would just help the storytelling, right? You
Oh
know,
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know.
yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
if the physics on that are right, but this is comics, so and you
Exactly,
have some
exactly.
space here, and then
That's a
when
great.
you said that, it really just it really just seems like it's begging for that clarity. Um, I don't know
Yeah,
if you can make this
that's
eye
a
look
good
a
one.
little meaner. He looks like his eye looks a little cartoony here. Maybe it should be a little bit more closed at the top. Like more sinister. Um, Jumping down here, I love the posing. Deharshify. Maybe this lady's hair needs to be a little more white and stringy here because you have the space. If you can like bring a couple more strings of it, because that would kind of
Yeah.
bring you this like kind of motion, that's like focusing the eye towards the center more. Um, right? These guys look like they got their facial expressions. I would add some more of these little like grit lines here, like you have here. You know, I would say it needs like those little pensive lines here to make it look like these guys don't look as angry as this guy. So I would add those little four. Are they called furrows? Right.
Yes, the furrowed brow.
Right. Um, Crom's rolling muscles, right? So let's see his rolling muscles. Maybe you want to desimplify a little bit here, to accentuate that. I didn't draw that well just now, but you get the idea. It's just like, yeah, let's see his tensing muscles because it's in the descriptions, and that's one great thing about Gardner Fox is his like kind of like descriptive turns of phrases, right?
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Here, these lines seem a little bit out there. I would try to integrate those. Maybe you want to crosshatch those a little bit, right? So that they're not as evident. And as I'm saying that, I'm also now noticing these lines here too. So maybe you know try to blend those in a little bit better. Jumping down here, um, yeah, this is the posing is great. Here you still have that issue. I think once the reader like figures out, okay, we're just kind of like making these sequences like a film strip, that are side by side. But you could still do more kind of like suggestive subliminal things, right, to separate them. Right? Like I think these white patches here are calling out for like a little bit of darkening, maybe just in the rendering, and it's okay if it kind of like goes into this a little bit, right, like that, because it separates it more, and I think that's necessary so that it just brings the person from one thought to another thought to another thought here. You did
Right.
a good job here, but don't be afraid to touch with these leaves, right? They can touch and they can drop down. Like you could have like ivy or something, you know, so that the white is broken up a little bit. And wherever these lines are a little bit obvious, I would just kind of like come in with another, not a crosshatch, but a slightly angled hatch. That blends it in a little more smoothly, right? Um, this arm right here, I don't know if you want to try to fix up the anatomy there. Maybe what you could do
Oh yeah.
instead of redoing it, maybe you could do is like bring this hand out of the shadow more, and then like kind of like you have some of this in silhouette, so that's like an advantage. You could actually like just darken this up and just trying to fudge it. So now I'm going to this page.
Nope.
Okay. So
That
let me know.
that one's
Let
done.
me.
You're done with both of those.
Okay. So now we're coming in
And then go to that next one. That next one underneath it.
this one.
Yep.
Okay. Um. Yeah, this is great. This is great. This is fine. Yeah, I like that. Um. here, this is a big white patch here. So the same thing goes. This is okay if you're making this type really light. I see how you have a very thin drop shadow on it. That's okay. I would just extend that gray because it needs a little more.
It needs to be darker too. It needs to be
Yeah, well, you
darker
could bring
too.
out the contrast of that, but I think sometimes if you purposely slow the person down, and as long as it is readable, you're making it hard on purpose. That's okay, but
Yeah.
as long as it's done with intention. I would also bring the this kind of rendering up in the hair a little bit so you don't have these gaps. And then here, this looks like it needs something here. Maybe you want to put some more plants, or
Cloud.
maybe there's like some clouds coming over the horizon or something. But just in general, your pages are so like packed in that
Yeah.
it looks kind of disconcerting
Pretty
when you have
dense.
like when you have a gap spot. Um,
Right.
yeah, the general stuff. Frame the type, deharshify. Here we're coming down to these kind of like ogre ape guys. I like this. This is good. You might wanna go a little bit darker. I know you're kind of haloing this character here,
Yeah.
but you don't need it to be so bright. The question is like how far can you go, and still get that halo effect. So I would like bring these darker. I would kind of just like thin it up a little bit, right? By going darker. And then here you gotta. I mean, here you're going right into the letter, so you definitely have to like darken that to frame it better. Deharshify here. Um, yeah, I don't know if she looks worried, but her face is just like it just needs something. I don't know if you can go in with white instead of maybe instead of going in with dark lines, you tone the whole thing in, and then you go back in with white lines and just try to bring out
Oh
the
wow.
elements of her face a little bit better. Yeah, like this could look good. And then like if her head is in shadow, add some more lines here, right? There's
Yeah.
storytelling, then there's light and dark balance. You're really cartoonizing her face here. This looks like a Betty Boop face. So maybe the same thing. If you
Yeah.
go in, with shadow, see that already looks better right there. And then you can go in with some dark lines and some light lines. Right, you can do some pullouts and some touch ups. Right, this is good. Deharshify. Um, so yeah, this belongs to the top panel, right? Not the bottom panel.
Kinda. It's kind of like
Yeah, because
an icon.
if he could be
To
coming,
drag you back.
if he could be also part of this scene or this scene, then let's do it. Let's
Right.
put his chest in here.
Right.
Go ahead.
Right.
Right. That's great because
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
now
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it could be from either side. And then
Yep.
and then go darker here. Go darker here. You can go darker here. You don't lose anything. You know. Um. Yeah, pretty good. There's a lot going on. These ladies are getting squeezed. These guys are around here. Maybe some pullouts like this mouth right here. I'm not sure. This guy's like, is he's he kind of looks like he's looking this way. Maybe you bring some little dots to show that his eyes are looking back that way. Some white dots. And then here, this is definitely a little too close for comfort. If this is her,
Right.
they're blending in here. So I would take some white and like put some marks here. You need some kind of like dividing thing here, even if it's just blades of grass, and then maybe like some foliage or something. Try to cut into that with white. Because his arm is literally going behind her. Let's get some white in there. Let's get some separation. Like let's separate it somehow. You use some kind of you know drafting trick. Just to finish this out. Here, this is CROM, right? And so his hair is
No, he's no.
uh,
Yeah. 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 Down here at the bottom. Yep.
yeah. So
He's getting taken
yeah,
away.
CROM is lamenting here. Yeah, this one piece of hair looks like it's out of the style of the rest. I don't know if I had this on camera just now. Um, this 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 one piece of hair looks like it's out of style with the rest. I would just build up the darks and then go back in with the lights. It'll be fine. And this only takes a second to fix up, right? To kind of integrate it back into the same style. And now I'm
Right.
flipping this over. No, I did this already, right? So
Yeah, you need nope, that's the one you want.
oh, this
That's
is
the
the
one
one
you
I
want.
want.
That's the one you want.
Oh, really?
Yep, yep,
Oh, okay. Oh, because yeah, I
yep.
was just about to comment on it when you told me I was out of sequence.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, this head is really big. I like that. It makes it look like these guys are like disproportionate, like kind of like on the way to Modoc,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
It also reminds you a little bit of Sendak, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. So that's cool. Yeah, maybe a little more differentiation between her and him. I don't know if you want to get some white lines in there. Maybe like pull out some highlights here, just to show the where his arm ends. These are all minor points. Here I would just try to like integrate a little bit more. You have this background effect here, and it looks kind of rushed. It looks kind of like you're striking the page. I call this kung fu style with my students when you look like, and there's a place for that. But some of your marks actually go over your art, so I would go back in and fix those. So it's all right if you have that like quick background, but make it go behind the other stuff, and then don't stop it, like continue it on right down here. Definitely, like continue it through. I like how this guy is like all kicked back. That's good.
All gray. Yep,
Yeah.
yep, yep.
Here you have a very very dark and
Solid.
a very very like completely white leg. So let's give him just like some edge shading here. um I would put this arm a little bit more into shadow. um And here, oh wow, you have the woman. I missed this in the first go around. Yeah, I definitely missed this in the first go around. So maybe if you can take like some little fine white, what do they call it? The white little brush, you maybe you give him some little eyeballs that are facing down towards her, because that would have
Right.
brought me down to her. What's that buzz? Something was buzzing. Maybe if you take some white out, and give him some pupils that are looking down towards her. And I don't know, I'm just
Right.
like my pencil is just kind of gliding over this and just kind of shading his face in a little bit more. Because then if you do add like some little eyes to him, they could be kind of like shocked, at looking down, because I missed her in the beginning.
Right.
This thing that you're doing, like with everything kind of blended together, makes it a real kind of like game, to see everything in a panel before you move on. So you do need those little hints, and I would definitely use his eyes, to hint down towards her. This is nice. This action panel here, I would, it looks a little painterly, so I would deharshify that. I don't know if you want to try to have either some speed lines coming in or some part of the background that kind of gives you that impression, of lateral movement. But you see what I'm doing here? If you
Yep.
had that, I mean, it would be better, to work that into some kind of background than to have it just like blatantly like speed lines, because speed lines are cartoony. Um, but definitely need some marks there, because this is just so wide open, and you've already established, no, we're filling up everything. We're really like packing it in here. Um, and I would also get some white separator here, just to find, just if you just define this arm here, it would just, put a little line in here that tells you, okay, this is the left and this is the right. Because her, and maybe you want to fade her hair out. This is just hair, so I don't see why this needs to be going behind the ogre here. I would maybe fade that out and use some white marks and fade that out. And I'm only talking about like a couple of lines here, but if you get some white around his arm here, I think that's better. This is all kind of dream sequency, so it's all good if this is the style. But when things are touching something else, I think that's when you draw a line. You literally gotta draw a line. you know. Here you're doing the speed thing here, but you're only doing it here on the top and not on the bottom. So I would have some version of it here, or maybe you just want to put some plants or something that are reaching in here, like creepy vines, or like some branches, that are creeping in here. But I would definitely fill this gap and try to mimic that motion, try to get those those parallel lines or those foreshortened lines down here. Yep, deharshify these whites. This is a great pose.
Pull it up.
This this is a great pose here. So you definitely want to deharshify these whites. Maybe come in with some background here. You could just you could just take these rocks, and just draw these rocks, but I wouldn't just have it, blank in there. And then same thing here, whether it's just lines or plants or, the cave wall or something like that. I would encroach. I would definitely like do something in here that, that that frames the action. Here your charcoal lines are kind of fast, just noticeably fast. So I would go in and smudge those out. I would bring some darks and lights here into these rocks. Add some maybe stalks, some just some vertical stalks of grass would kind of like break up the lateral lines, with some vertical, and that would really give you some, I think it would take it out of the noticeable distraction and just make it more of a blending background. Here, let's get, here her hair, it's kind of puffy and maybe a little unnecessarily puffy if you're crowding in your next thing. I'd love to see like a white line, just defining her Raphael-esque hair, and then also just separating her all the way down here because she looks on. Oh wait, this is the same. I'm sorry, this is all the same. No wait, this isn't. This is CROM battling here and then CROM battling here, and so yeah, so this is kind of like one of those scenes where you're panning and the guy ends up in one. Right, I get you. Yeah, so this is it's kind of magical. Yeah, I don't know, you might want to so it's up to you. You might want to like bring a white line, a white just separator line, thin all the way through here, or maybe just like in the hair. But then you get to this point here, and I wish this was all kicked over a little, but if it's not, then let's bring in something here that encroaches. I don't know. You're off in the middle of a cliff here, so maybe you have to do clouds or something, or some maybe there's some
Yeah.
flying pterodactyl in the background or something. And this is a little noticeable. These white scratchy lines that you went in with, I would mask those a little bit better with smudgy or other lines on top of it. And you have this idea of this thing is separating, so let's make some bigger rocks down here. Let's make some bigger pieces that are falling off. You could even have like a branch down here sticking out of the cliff, with the proverbial eagle's nest and all that, right? um
So
yeah,
Jake,
is that it?
you have your I think your microphone, not, excuse me, your headphones are not on. It's horrible.
Well, if you give me a sec, I could try to find some headphones here.
All right, well we're gonna close out.
Okay.
All right, and we'll pick up next episode.
All right, I'll grab some headphones meantime.